right, shalom. First and foremost, we like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bahakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, and to the Baal Shadabadad, the house of David. This is Men of Valor Las Vegas Camp. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into camp. 12 and 12, right? Yeah.
This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
All right, so Revelation 12 and 12, all right, it says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth. All right, so woe, all right, to all the inhabitants, especially you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, because our salvation is at hand, all right, who the world ignorantly calls God or Jesus Christ, all right, is coming back, and the true names are Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, Yahweh being the Father and Yahweh Shai being the Son, all right. There's multiple things that you're seeing on this on this planet, all right? You're starting to see the uproar of the people within the last year and a half, all right? You're starting to see even more earthquakes. I believe it was a 7.5 today, or 7.2, 7.5 earthquake today, all right? Then you have basically the world on fire, you know? Everywhere across the world, something is happening. All right, you got floods in diverse places, and you got people being unruly. All right, so this is the time, and these are the signs that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai said, watch for. All right, when you said, roughly paraphrasing scripture, he said these will be the times that you basically need to watch. All right, because the time is at hand. All right, read that verse again.
Once again, this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
All right, so that devil, all right, is AKA, all right, the white man, which his biblical nationality is Esau Edom. All right, he's about to roll on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? Because he has a ultimate plan, all right, to take you out amongst these other nations, all right? Because they want to depopulate the world. If you look at the Georgia Guidestones, they want to depopulate the world to 500 million, all right? What is 500 million in consideration to, what is it, 7.5 billion people on the planet? What is 500 million? All right, China alone has more people than what they want on the earth. All right? Yeah. The nation. Okay. All right, so he knows he has a little time, so that's why you're seeing all these things perform. You got these Maxine water out here, all right, with these people. You have Maxine, but they're about to make mandatory. All right, you're seeing certain laws that they're putting into play. You're seeing certain laws that they're putting into play. All right, so you can get cut off from your job, so you can get cut off from society. Really, you can't go into Subway, Starbucks, bars. You know, so you'll be alienated. All right.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and 15. It says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us?
God. So you said, woe to them, being that nation, all right? It's Esau, Edom, is that chief nation, all right, who keeps on hiding their counsel, all right, amongst these other nations, because all these other nations have a hatred, all right, for the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? Full Psalms 83. That's I just had Isaiah. That's what I had next.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 3. They have taken. Start at verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against the hidden ones.
All right, so that crafty counsel, they have set it against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's people. All right, that crafty counsel, those hidden ones. We are the hidden ones. All right, recently, all right, within really the last 10 years, from Apostle Tahar on down, for the last 30 plus years, all right, this word has been going out. All right, but Salakia, since 2017 or 2007, Salakia, since 2007, since been on the internet, all right, this word has been traveling all across the planet. All right, all across the planet. That's how you're waking up to knowing exactly who you are and whose you are.
This book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 1 says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see, lift up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble.
God, because this is spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah, Babylon, Egypt. It's America, Rome 2.0. All right, this is that very place. You can see it by all the unrighteous decrees that are put forth. You can see it by everything that's happening. All right, the MOTB. All right, that you see going forth and things that they're doing with all their once again, all their unrighteous decrees. All right, we are personally out here in Las Vegas. All right, this is ground zero. Sodom. All right, Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, but if you look at the structure, how this whole United States system is structured, it's after Rome. All right, all this is Rome reloaded. All right. God.
Verse 3 says, I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
God, so Yahweh Shem Yahushai is calling all these nations to battle. All right, he's in control. That's why you're seeing this World War III amp up. All right, you're seeing nations starting to go against nation. All right, it's like you're starting to see these nations go against nations. You have Iran. All right, you have what are they pulling out of Iraq? All right, and then their whole system is falling.
No, they bring back their troops.
God,
So that, they could use them over here because they know what's going to happen over here when they go back into lockdown. They're going to need it for the people protesting against them. Those little protests that they seen, the Black Lives Matter protests, that's going to be nothing in comparison to what's coming next. That's going to be forgotten about.
God.
Because now you got, those that are still pretty much the Confederates today, those people still waving that banner, they're mad at, they're still mad, that Biden, those are all those anti-V's,
God. And also through the Spirit, these are that same uprising for civil war.
Right.
All right, because what they're doing is they're stripping your rights away. All right, They have already stripped them away, and we as so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans haven't really had rights in the first place. All right? But what they're doing is they're taking and shredding the Constitution even more for their own true citizens. All right? And their citizens are pissed off. Are pissed off. And rightly they should be. All right? Because they're 2-3-time loser. All right? If you take it all the way back to the Civil War, they already took their slavery away. All right? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? And then incorporated them and made them slaves. Now on the whole scale, the system is falling. The whole system is falling, and Americans, all right, are pissed off. You're starting to see other people that came back from other people coming from other nations starting to go back to their homes. All right, because hey, they rather be at home and fight their own war, right, than to fight somebody else's war.
This is Isaiah chapter 31, verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord.
Hey, that's saying woe to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, that go down to this white man for help. Whether you take his Maxine Waters, okay, whether you go and trying to be a part of his system, all right, whether you sell out bitches, all right, go and cling on to a white man, all right, or other nation so you can get better, all right, so you can have a better chance, bitch, you still gonna die.
Right. And, that's what the main goal from, especially from like people that immigrated into the United States.
God.
That's their prized possession. They want to go get that white man because they know that they're gonna be financially stable.
God. Hey, and you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American women, all right, that do those things, you're nothing but a modern day bedwitch. All right? You got a little bit more of a glorification, all right, because you can have a voice and think you decide something, all right, but you're a modern day bedwitch. Keep going on that. I think it's 2 more verses.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 5, says, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land.
Hey, yeah, how about Shimei Awashai is going to have his weapons of indignation, all right, which is thermonuclear fire, ICBMs, all right? America is going down, all right? It's going down. Thus saith the Bible, all right? Just because it doesn't have the words America, all right? Look after its systems. Look after its traits, all right? If you had a so-called serial killer or a pedophile, all right, you look at particular traits to determine that. Same thing that you're going to look at in the Bible, all right? You're looking at these traits of this fucking devil, all right?
What did Rome have that the United States got right now? They got the same 3 branches of government.
Con.
The legislative, judiciary, and then the other one.
Con.
The executive branch.
Executive branch. And who's running it? The executive branch.
And they're using that same system. That's why, like Brother had said earlier, it's likened unto Sodom and Gomorrah.
Slack, I just sorted a bug. Yeah, God, continue on that.
Verse 6 says, Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty.
God, the day of the Lord is at hand. All right? You got brothers on the highways and byways, prophets, starting with Apostle Tahar on down. Abaratazah, we be those men. All right? But you have prophets speaking and proclaiming the fall of this system. In all your fucking systems. It doesn't matter what country you're in. Continent, state, city, Providence, it doesn't matter. All right? You could be in the fucking jungle. All right? Everything on this earth is going to be changed.
You think it's going to be that great reset where the banking elite family, comes in and takes that new world order that they've always been wanting. But right before they get to that point, Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah is going to intervene, and he's not going to let that happen. He's going to checkmate him.
God, because this devil deals with gradualism. All right? Everything is gradual. Look, I'm 30-something years old, right? So think into the time where they started this NWO. Where'd they first put it in your face? In wrestling. In wrestling.
Right, that's the predictive program.
God. So when you hear about the NWO, you have a nostalgia in your mind that, oh, I remember that. It's a wrestling confederation. It's not about the wrestling, it's about the confederation.
Everything that they've been doing, they've been hinting at, through media, movies, up and coming, artists. You got Uzi with the little diamond in his forehead. That's getting you used to. So y'all go and take that CHIP. But it's all to get you, familiar. Like it's a familiar face. You're not likely to run from it as much.
God. And that's why you have that the movies like once again, Upgrade. All right, you got Upgrade for that notion of super soldiers.
The Transcendence, Altered Carbon.
God, yeah, so many.
There's a lot of them.
Hey,
there's a Power. Power with Jamie Foxx on Netflix.
God, and then they getting you ready, for the mass slaughter that they're about to do. Why? Because Endgame. You thought Marvel was just a superhero movie. All right? You thought the Avengers was just strictly superhero movie. Sluck it. But there's a spiritual sense behind it. All right? Thanos, all right? Think of Thanos and think of the whole world being changed. All right? Because this whole world is going to be changed. And Thanos is Yahweh Shai. All right?
I'm going to grab this book. This is the book of Job, chapter 5, and just read verse 12. It says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
God.
The crafty being the wicked, Eve. And Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah is not going to let everything take place that they're trying to take place,
God. But he's going to let some of it take place. Yeah. 2/3 of our own nation. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, Argentinians to Chile. All right. Panama to Uruguay. All right. And Mexicans. Hey, 2/3 of our own nation is going to die for the disobedience. All right. Whether it be by Esau's hand, all right, one of his devices, a wild beast, pestilence, all right, and if you make it through all that, then you have a special thermonuclear fire waiting for your ass. God.
Look at Amos chapter 5 and verse 18. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
God, the day of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is darkness, not light. All right? Because evil is a dark time.
This is that time where, we're going into that time where, a lot of you on this time right here, y'all gonna start selling out. You're gonna give in,
God.
You don't think that it's better if you do just take it, Thinking because things are going to get more complicated for you, and what's the American way to always make things simpler? That's like technology. That's what technology do. Make everything have you got everything right at the access of your phone. You don't even gotta go shopping if you don't want to.
God, you can have it right to the house.
You get it delivered to you.
Be there 30 minutes or less.
But that's what he want, because then he knows exactly where you are.
God.
Right in your cell space, whatever, however big you can afford.
God.
You know?
Whether it's what is it? 5 by 10? 10 by 5? 6 by 10, whatever size, like the brother said, you could afford whatever toys you got to go with it.
Right. This is the book of Isaiah.
Hold on. Yes. You continue? Okay. Lock it.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased.
Hey, this golden city, all right? Everybody thought America was so America. All right? Everybody thought America was so great and so wonderful. All right? Yeah, America was a world power. All right, like Rome. But what happened to fucking Rome? It failed. You don't think this bitch is gonna fall too? Go ahead, continue.
Verse 5. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Verse 6.
Lock it. Yeah, how about Shimei Shai has broken the staff of the wicked? All right? And you can see that it's broken because he is starting to panic. All right? He's in panic mode. Whether he wants to admit it or not. All right? He's panicking.
Start giving up their own people.
God.
You know that they prize a doctor, to go on trial. And ultimately he probably won't get nothing,
Right, but they had to do something.
Cover it up, but they had to, use them as that guinea pig scapegoat.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth.
God, this is this corporate, all right, who continuously, all nations, all right, and all these nations are getting absolutely sick of them, all right, absolutely sick of America, all right. You see this around the world. You have the what is it? The Iran nuclear agreement that America set and then backed out of. All right? And thought it would be okay. Like, no, bitch, you're gonna do what I say. And the other country said, nah, I'm good on you, E.
Right. Well, the elder Amawana Bada just had a video saying that in the 230 years this country's been running,
225.
90% of the time we've been in war.
93.
93, exactly, to be exact. And what that show you is that they're the ones, being, they have this thing where they want to call out terrorists and stuff, but when you look at it, they're actually being the terrorists to all these other countries.
God, hey, Esau Edom has been the terrorist the whole time. All right, you've been a terrorist to your own people, terrorist to other countries. All right, you proclaim everything now. All right, as hate speech.
And that's how you know who they are, because when this country was founded, I remember reading in history class, George Washington's one of his main points of advice was not to get involved in other countries. And then what they do, the complete opposite of that.
God,
that's speaking vain and deceitfully.
God, and this has all look. Esau Edom has always had hate speech. All right, has always had it. All right, we cannot bring up. You cannot bring up American history, all right, without talking hate speech, because America itself is about hate. It's a lie that it's founded on the Bible. All right? It is a lie that America is founded, obeys an upright law. All right? That everything is pure.
They just swear on it. That's all they do. That's all the Bible is used for them. for that. Let me put my right hand on the Bible, make sure I'm not lying.
Right.
But then that's why they make like clauses like I plead the fifth.
Right.
So you can put your right hand on the Bible, and swear that you're not gonna lie, but then not write yourself out.
Right.
These are the stipulations in this thing that they've created.
God, this is all their unrighteous decrees that they and their laws that they where they hide their wickedness.
That's how they get away with so much, because Jake don't know how to play their game.
God,
Most of them don't.
Go ahead, continue on that.
Verse 7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Verse 8. Ye, the fir trees, rejoice at thee, and the cedars.
That's what I want. Go back.
Which verse 7?
Yes, verse 7.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing.
Hey, when this devil goes down, the whole earth is going to be at rest. All right? The whole earth is going to be at rest. Imagine that. All right? Just imagine a book, all right, a heritage book telling you that when this devil is going to be taken down, that the whole earth is going to be at rest. Not only the nation of Israel, first and foremost the nation of Israel, under the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, but secondary, everybody else. Everybody else is going to be happy that Esau Edom is out of control.
Down to the animals and even the land itself.
God.
So that's why I talk about. That's why the Bible talks about the land languishing or mourning.
God. Hey, and we'll go back through the spirit. We'll go back to having, proper food, nutrients, the land Sabbath. All right. The land has a time to rest. All right. And this devil doesn't even abide by it. Why? Because he was given the fatness of the earth and the sword as his blessing. Matter of fact, go ahead and pull that. His promise. Right.
All right, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
So he had his Esau Edom's blessing, which is our twin brother, our twin elder brother. His blessing is the fatness of the earth. All right, and the sword. All right, the fatness of the earth means he has all the best places. All right, he owns the whole earth, essentially. All right, because that's why he has, it's lucky, he has all these embassies in other countries. All right, that's why his financial system was all across the earth. All right, so if you have your whole financial system across the earth, and everybody is going by your standard, well, shit, you rule the earth. All right, you rule the earth.
At the time, the U.S. dollar was there.
God,
It's not no more.
no, that's how you know this bitch is falling. All right, then the sword. All right, the sword is his military might. All right. And now the might, don't get me wrong, America still has some tricks up their sleeve. All right, as far as their technology and everything. But you see these other countries have just as many tricks. Right. Hiroshima is not, hey, we are not in the time where Hiroshima happened and everybody is in awe again. Right. All right, because these countries say, "Oh, you got it, I got it too."
Because what happened, the United States always been the model of the military, you know? Because even when they stole Albert Einstein to make that, you know, that A bomb, you know. What happened with everybody else? Oh, they got it, so we got to make something like it, you know, to compete with them and keep that order. Because how do they keep order? Just like the Most High, through fear. Through fear of what this country can do to another country, and back and forth. You know, so that's why we're gonna keep peace. They don't really care about each other.
Right. And now that these other countries have that same capability, they're like, I wish you would.
Yeah, we don't gotta take your shit no more.
Right. I wish you would, because guess what? As soon as you will, we're going to. All right? As soon as you do that, we're gonna do it. And now it might be even vice versa. They might hit the button first.
What is it? It's like 30 minutes before it land, you know?
Right. In most places, I believe from Russia over here, it takes an hour. Russia over here, it takes an hour for impact. You get 30 minutes warning, if I remember correctly. You get a 30-minute warning, the warning system for it. What can you do in 30 minutes? All right.
Right. Not enough. A lot of people be going. Think about the madness that's going to be going around.
Right.
These are the times that they'll be coming to.
Every time.
Right.
Chop it every time. Chop it. Yeah, never fails.
Oh.
Slack it. Hey, go in, get Psalms 17, 17 and 13. All right, because the sword, the sword is the blessing of Esau Edom. All right, and Esau Edom is the sword and a whipping stick for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and West Seminole Indians. All right, it was the whipping stick for our disobedience. All right, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ, has set the base man over our nation. All right, for our disobedience. 13. Yeah, like 17 and 13.
Oh, yeah. This is Psalms chapter 17, verse 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
God. So the wicked is the Most High's sword. All right, for us being a disobedient, stiff-necked nation. All right, we're going after and thinking. Yeah, we up here every week. Every week? Every Saturday. Okay, for sure. All right, Salakia, go ahead, continue. Read that over again.
This is Psalm chapter 17, verse 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
God, deliver thy soul from the wicked, which is the sword. So the sword is the whipping stick for the nation of Israel. All right? For the nation of Israel first and foremost. But as you see, going back into Psalms 83, all right, these other nations were confederate. All right? They were on one accord with taking down Israel. All right? So taking us down and making us not having us no longer be a nation, all right, so that the name of Israel may be forgotten. All right, so that it may be forgotten, they're in trouble too. It was just Esau, Edom, all right, but now all you other nations, all right, you so-called Chinese, Japanese, all right, you Pacific Islanders, like so everybody outside of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Whose father's line don't Don't go back to this.
God.
I gotta appreciate it.
God.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and verse 6. It says, "For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth."
Hey, and we be the sons, of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We are those sons. If your father's line, once again, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we are the sons and daughters of the Most High. All right? So that means you're in trouble. You're getting an ass whooping that you have been getting for the last 500 plus years. All right? And it hasn't been a light ass whooping.
So if ye endure chastening, Yahweh dealeth with you as with sons.
Hey,
What son is he whom the Father chasteneth not?
what son? All right? I got a son. All right? And if he fuck up, I'm kicking his ass. All right? Because I love him. Same thing as any other parent would do. If your daughter's acting up, all right, she want to be out there in the streets as a harlot, you gonna kick her ass if she's under your house. Why? Because you love her.
I'm gonna just drop down to the reasoning. This is Hebrews 12 and 11. It says, "Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby."
Slack it.
John, so if you get chastised now, you may not think it's the best thing for you, but know that, for your ways are not my ways, your thoughts not my thoughts. The Most High has a plan. The reason why he needed to chastise these people, our people, was so they would come back an even stronger nation.
God. So we can lead the other nations as the way they're supposed to live.
Through that first that covenant Moses made, it was pretty much, it was given to us, but but as a nation we took it for granted. We took the law, statutes, and commandments for granted, and that's what started this whole downfall.
God, because in our hearts, which is our mind, our love, all right, you can say that, hey, we had the Most High, all right, we knew that this was Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right, at that time, all right, and we took it for granted, like the brother said, saying, oh no, we can get over on it, we can do this, we can do that. No, we are supposed to be separate in a holy nation. All right, be holy as I am holy. So if the Most High, all right, whose name is Yahweh, and his son Yahweh Shai are holy and perfect, why would their children be anything less? You would expect your children to follow after your footsteps. You will have them be as you are. Be separate and be holy. All right? This is exactly why we're going through our punishments. Because and still having to be purged of our impurities. Go ahead.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
All right, so once again, 2/3 of our own people are not going to get right. It's only going to be 1/3, and that's going to be the elect, all right? The upper echelon, under Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the governing body, all right? The first fruits, the first families of Israel, all right? Where all the other 2/3 are going to come through the loins of those that made it. Abarat is how we be of that number. All right? Go ahead and continue.
Verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined.
God. Yeah, how about Shem Shai said he will bring the third part through the fire. All right? That's not only thermal nuclear fire. All right? That's the fire of this fiery trial of this everyday life. All right? Being here under the sun, being in this place of judgment, which is our hell. All right? We have to go through this fire. Everything that you continue to go through on the day to day, your women talking back to you, your kids being disobedient, all right, not having enough substance, all right, not being able to eat the proper food, wear the proper clothes, breathe the proper air, all right. All this is shitty, all of it. Go ahead.
And will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is trying us as gold is tried. As gold and silver is refined and tried for its impurities to make pure. To make us pure. Go ahead, continue, Salakia.
I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my power.
It is my people, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is my power. All right? If we are his people, his children, his nation, all right, we are going to follow after him and do the things as he does it. He is perfect in every single way, in all his judgments. All right, so we will stay in that perfection. That's why we're being purified. Got something? Oh. You actually going to pull for root? You got a pre? Yeah. Oh.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 2. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
Oh. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai has loved Jacob. Jacob is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But Esau, Edom, he is going to lay their mountains to waste. He's cut off their heritage. All right? He's cut off their heritage. Yeah, verse 4. Yeah, you can get verse 4.
Verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushai said he has indignation for Esau, Edom forever. All right? Forever. All right? Not sometime, not a little time, but forever. So being that he has indignation for that nation, all right? Right here. Group 2. 2 and 30. Being that he has an indignation for Esau, Edom is cut off. All right? It's cut off, and he has no care for them. All right? He made them for a purpose. That purpose was to be the whipping and to be the whipping stick of Israel.
Book of Baruch, chapter 2 and verse 30 says, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves.
You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, are a stiff-necked people. All right, one, you don't think that you could ever be so special, all right, that the Most High would have chose your black ass, all right, or chose your Mexican ass, or chose your Native American ass. All right, you wouldn't think, because you've been taught that you are nothing. All right, you've been taught that your heritage starts in Africa, in Mexico, in America. That's it. Go ahead, read it again.
So, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
And you're seeing us starting to remember ourselves. All right? You're starting to see us remember who we are and whose we are. You're hearing us call on the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right? This is our captivity.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 13. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best.
Now I have the brother read this because we didn't get off of Esau, Edom. All right? Esau, Edom, we are in our captivity. Esau, Edom is that base man over us. All right? Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai made a vessel to honor and dishonor. Read it from the top again.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 13. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure.
Wait a minute. The clay is in the potter's hand. All right? The potter, what does the potter do? He forms the clay and makes whatever he wants to make with it. All right? Whether it be a vase, whether it be an ashtray, whether it be a lamp. All right? He makes it whatever he wants. Go ahead, continue.
So man is in the hand of him that made him.
So man is in the hand of him that made him. All right? All men. Everything. The trees, the stars, the air. All right? The rats, the cats, the dogs. Everything. All right? White, black, Mexican, Hindu, Arabic, Chinese, it doesn't matter. Every heathen nation was made by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for a purpose. Go ahead.
To render to them as liketh him best.
Wait a minute. Go ahead, read that again.
To render to them as liketh him best.
Render. Somebody get that word render for me. That liketh him best. Well, what is best? All right. Man, that's my best pair of shoes. Best goes into favorite. All right.
And also favorite means chosen.
God.
Okay, so the word render means to provide or give, cause to be or become, make, represent, or depict artistically, covertly send a foreign criminal or terrorist suspect for interrogation, abroad subject to extraordinary rendition.
Okay.
So, or the noun for it is a first coat of plaster applied to a brick or stone surface.
Read the verse again. And then read the top of that.
This is Sirach, chapter 33, verse 13. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him, to render to them as liketh him best.
All right, to render that liketh him best. All right, give me another word for render.
To give or provide.
To give or to provide liketh him best. All right. Go ahead, read the next verse.
Verse 14. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly.
So is the godly against the sinner, all right? We would be the godly, abarataza, all right? Rehearsing and performing the righteous acts, all right? Making ourselves holy and separate, all right? To do things that are pleasing in the Most High's eyes. Go ahead, continue.
Verse 15. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another.
Everything has a duality. You have hot, you have cold. You have man, you have woman. All right? You have sun, you have the moon. All right? You have liquid, you have solid. Everything has a duality. All right? So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai didn't forget to have a duality on people. All right? On his nation. He had to have a duality. All right? In comparison, everybody else in the world, all right? Every other nation in the world, first and foremost, Israel, the nation of Israel under Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, is the godly and righteous. All right? The other nations are righteous to an extent. All right? Because they're made to take orders and follow the program. But Esau, Edom, go ahead. Read it again. Go ahead.
Sirach, chapter 33, verse 13. As the clay is in the potter's hand, to fashion it at his pleasure.
No, go down. Read down from where you before.
Verse 14. This verse 14. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. Verse 15. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another.
One against another.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 1. A false balance is a abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight.
Hey, and if he had one of something, all right, it would be a false balance. If I only have one thing, that's a false balance. If I have two of something, now I can measure a scale. I can weigh between the both. All right? Go ahead. Continue on that.
Verse 17. Yep. Verse 17. Consider that I labor not for myself. Oh, I skipped 16.
You skipped 16.
Sorry. This verse 16.
I was like, that's not the.
Yeah. I awaked up last of all, as one that gathereth after the great gatherers. By the blessing of the Lord I profited, and filled my winepress like a gatherer of grapes.
All right? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is filling his winepress like a gatherer of grapes. All right? Hey, you got some good grapes and you got some bad grapes. Some are ripe for the picking, and some are are rotten. All right?
Verse 17. Consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning.
God, and we labor not just for ourselves, but for every man, woman, and child, all right, that hears and believes on the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right? We're doing it first and foremost to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling.
Verse 18. Hear me, O ye great men of the people, and hearken with your ears, ye rulers of the congregation. 19. Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend power over thee, while thou livest. Okay, cut that. Sorry, lock it.
All right? So, hey, continuing on, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is a just balance. All right? He does nothing, all right, that is not just. He does nothing that is not already weighed. All right? Let's go with Revelation 13. We're going to hit that first minute. And which verse is made a vessel to honor and dishonor?
Pull that verse.
God, pull that verse. Yeah, we have to pull that verse. Yeah. Second Timothy, but a great house there are not just the honor, just read it off your.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 20. But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth, and some to honor and some to dishonor.
So Yahweh Shem Yahushua has vessels to honor and dishonor. All right. If you think about in the temple, all right, there's certain things that had to be used and certain things that couldn't be used. All right. That's a vessel to honor and dishonor. All right. Such as he has a people. He has a people that he honors and a people that he dishonors. All right. Once again, for Jacob have I loved and for Esau have I hated. All right. That's a vessel to honor and dishonor. He honors his people. All right. But he chastening his people, all right, to get right. All right.
That's the war that we in right now, that we've been in for years.
God.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 21. Hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and the other unto dishonor?
God.
Verse 22. What if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
And guess what? Esau Edom is that wrath fitted for destruction. All right. It's all good. You got the other one, which is, it proved the point. All right. And we're gonna go into this thing, that once again is taking this earth by storm. All right, with this Maxine Waters and thereof. God.
And this book that came out, going back into exactly what has been said, before, and then they even because there was a news clip like way back in December that
for the lockdowns.
Not for the lockdowns, for the MOTB.
God.
Saying that they were creating this device to detect, CBD.
Yep.
Before you actually get the symptoms. And then more recently they came out with that segment on RT News, which said that they've been had it in
the Pentagon.
Right, the Pentagon had created it.
And you've had, look, this is all once again gradualism. It's already been said. We knew the lockdown was coming last year.
Right.
Right? We knew that the climate lockdown was coming a year before it even came. All right? Gradualism. So you can't say I didn't tell you. All right? Let's go ahead and get that.
This is Revelation 13. Want me to just grab 15?
Yeah, let's just go to 15.
Revelation 13 and 15 reads, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Be killed. All right. Once again, this is going to be gradualism. All right. So it's not going to happen tomorrow. All right. It may not. Hey, I don't know. I don't know. It can happen at any time.
Right.
All right. But
gradually working.
Gradually.
To
exactly. Gradually working their way up to those guillotines.
Right. Because they go first, like brothers have been saying, they're going first start with the FEMA camps,
God.
and grouping everybody up. You know, you got every Walmart took out their McDonald's or Subway. Every Walmart has taken away their McDonald's or Subway. They just got an empty little cage right there.
Right.
Wonder what that's going to be used for.
Front of the house.
That's your window. That's the window you get to see. Now that's probably like going to be the cafeteria or something.
Not even. It's not big enough for a cafeteria.
It's going to be big enough.
You're going to eat in the sales.
That's what you call it. They're going to dish it out. Might be kitchen.
Expand the bathrooms a little bit.
All right. This is verse 16. What did they say? Walmart open. And all the people that took it, they was just all around.
Look at them. Hey, that'll be the same thing they did to Jake.
If you want to take it, you could go out there too.
Hey, that's what they essentially did to Jake. Put us in zoos and everything.
Right.
You know? Look at them.
Crazy. Verse 16, it says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive paragma in their right hand or in their forehead.
God, all small and great, rich and poor. All right? Doesn't matter if you're the biggest athlete to the poorest Joe Blow on the street. All right? You're going to come to that hour of temptation where you're going to have to make a choice. All right? Little choices are being forced upon you right now. All right? But that ultimate choice, do you want that or not? To continue in this society. If you don't have anything, they're going to say that you're going to get something. All right? Besides that. And if you have something, they're going to tell you that you can keep what you got. Go ahead.
And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the thing or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
So no buying or selling unless you have that thing. All right? Don't think what the Pentagon and these other companies have designed, all right, is strictly for what they say it's for. I'm going to put all this money into a technology and only have it do one thing. That's like that's like having a old school brick phone. All right? Esau Edom is not going to design a phone where he cannot, track you, where he cannot, make sure that you can get on the internet of things.
Right. And you got to look at the technology that they're using, for that is capable of so much. You got whole video games on little cards and like that now.
Oh.
You got, data, that they could fit mass amount of data on that little ass SIM card.
Shit, if they can make nanobots to fit on a cell in your body. All right. What do you think? Look, this is the size of a grain of rice. How much more, all right, is going to be able to be distributed from that?
It's going to be one of the selling points too. Oh, it's not going to hurt.
It's not that big. Never even notice it. All right, look at Sweden. All right, and matter of fact, that's the only place who hasn't had to worry about any lockdowns or anything like that, or no outbreaks and everything. Why? Because they've been testing it already. All right. But with that, done this one to get into. You got free? Yeah,
This is the book of the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, verse 7. As for the illusions of art, magic, they were put down, and their vaunting in wisdom was reproved with disgrace.
Hey, disgrace. All right, because once again, what is his sword? All right, he had the fatness of the earth. All right, his sword. All right, which is a weapon. He has in a weapon. What do you use for a weapon? Technology is a weapon. All right, and then all the illusions. All right, the magician. All right, sets up an illusion to fool you. All right, this is false magic. Yahweh Shimi Al-Shai doesn't deal in magic. He deals in miracles. All right, miracles.
Magic always got, always got a
sleight of hand.
Right. It's just you're not catching the exactly how they doing it. You know, you don't know their tricks.
Con.
You know, but they always got like a rabbit in the hat, or you know, they got things that they set up priorly to deceive you. It's just how you know, going back to the story of Moses. You know, he went up against their people that were doing
They're magicians.
the Pharaoh's magicians, pretty much, and witches. You know, that you know did miracles,
Right.
miracle like things
on the left hand side.
But they couldn't stand up to Moses every time he put that staff down. You know, it was something else.
God.
It was something that they couldn't compete with because he had the power of the Most High.
God.
Just like Esau don't have that power.
Right.
Verse 8. For they that promised to drive away terrors and troubles from a sick soul were sick themselves, of fear worthy to be laughed at.
Hey, who always promises? Hey, they've been promising a cure for cancer forever. Forever.
And then when somebody got the cure, what do they knock them off, or they put them in jail?
God.
You know, that's what happens.
But you know what? The funny thing is, through the Spirit, the cure was already in here.
Right. Hey, that's where Dr. Sadie pulled his cure from. You know, but there is another. There is a story of this white boy I read. You know, and he had found if you eat apricot seeds,
God.
you know, that is a cancer curing agent. And when he came out with that news, you know, he got locked up for what? False medical information.
God. And that's part of the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Gettys, DuPonts, you know, all the upper echelon.
Because the pharmaceutical company is a major source of income for them.
God.
You know, they do so much. A lot of the drugs that you take, you know, they got side effects where they prescribe you 3, 4 more medications because of the side effects you're getting from that one.
God.
And so their cures aren't really cures. They prolong something and give you something else.
God. And this is not we are not doctors, you know. This is not medical information that we are giving you. This is stuff that you can go look up and find for yourself. When you see a pharmaceutical that they have and they tell you on the commercial it may cause side effects.
Right.
All right. This is the same notion that we're going off of, and we're just repeating as they have already previously told us in their commercial.
You could look up Dr. Oz got he on camera saying he would never give his child a flu shot. You know, when you go into the LASIK eye surgery place, you know, the doctor giving you the LASIK got glasses on. You know, and doctors don't wear get LASIK because they know it's not good for you.
God.
And you can look up the word pharmaceutical in the etymology. It goes back to the Greek word pharmaceutikos, which means poison.
God.
So,
all right. Hey, once again, we are not doctors. All right. We do not have any stock in any pharmaceutical or anything like that. All right. But you know, with that, we want to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all you Akim out here, teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to you men and women and children listening and learning, to the Bayashah Dabadat, the house of David. This is Men of Valor, Las Vegas Camp. Till the next time, Shalom. Shalom. Wad Abab. All right, man, go get your